Hello, everybody. It looks like we are live here on Yard Stream and let's see, YouTube and live on Facebook. Hello, everybody. My name is James Overton, James Slim Overton, and I'm just popping up here just for a few minutes. I was on earlier live on from Slim Nation, but now I'm coming on live from the Portsmouth Talk, Portsmouth Coffee Talk morning and evening edition. And we hope you all are enjoying our shows. Our last show, we had a college student. It was the first time we really had a college student on this part of the Portsmouth Coffee Talk. I had college students on when I was doing it solo, but Portsmouth Coffee Talk, this is the first time we had a college student. It happened to be Leah's granddaughter, who was a rising senior at North Carolina A&T State University, and very interesting and informative conversation we had with her. And of course, she had experienced a close friend of hers um, 2 years ago in her freshman year that committed suicide. And I guess the reality of the stresses of people or what people are going through really hit home because you never know what someone is going through. They can present themselves in a way that looks like they're having no troubles at all, and it's much different from what we see from the outside. So just be a friend to your friends and try to recognize when something doesn't seem quite right. And I know that may be hard in a lot of situations because a lot of people don't show their emotions, but deep down inside, things are going on that we're unaware of. And sometimes some things we might say that might trigger some things, or it has nothing to do with us at all. Some things that go back as far as childhood that could be bothering someone that seemingly looks like they have everything that anybody would want, and things are going their way. But we never know, and it's prevalent on the college campuses as Leah, who was our guest, Leah Powell, who was our guest, our last guest on Portsmouth Coffee Talk, the evening edition. And she explained firsthand how it is. And not all of us know that feeling, how it is to have someone close to you that you think that's doing all right and just doesn't see the need to continue life anymore. So, I guess we just have to, especially in the African American neighborhoods, I think we're becoming more aware now than we were before. It still might be a stigma to many to admit that they might need uh, mental mental health help, or they might be under emotional strains that could cause things not just be right with them. And sometimes we have to recognize the symptoms, and that's called just awareness and being aware of some of the signs that can cause uh, deep depression, or you know you to temporarily be depressed. And a lot of us are depressed all the time. We'll say it and we'll come out of it quite easily, and some people say it or don't say it and don't come out of it. It might start with mild depression, and grow into something that's much deeper. And of course, I'm not a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist, but these are things that we should commonly try to be aware of, and by educating ourselves and being aware of our friends, and being aware of yourself, things that are going on with you. If you feel certain things are going on, you're pretty much physically in shape, and you're tired a lot, depression can bring that kind of non-energy to you, where you think you're doing everything right physically, but mentally things are just not going the way you think. And you could have everything you want, and little things could trigger that. So we plan to have, definitely plan to have Leah back on, as we want to watch her career. She's going into her senior year, and she's doing some apprenticeship at a U.S. Attorney's office this year, and she has aspirations uh, gearing her into the direction of being an attorney. You know, her grandfather, uh, Stacy DeLacy Stitt, was an attorney, and she has other people that inspired her to want to go into that field. And I think she just has that that nature of wanting to help people. Because when she was talking about going into that field and figuring out what field of law she was going in, she talked about immigration and being a defense lawyer, and that automatically lets me know that she's all about service and want to be able to take her expertise and help people. And so we're going to have more students on. And of course, we're going to dedicate uh, certain times to focus on our HBCUs. And of course, people who have been there and been out of there, 50 years or 20 years, and talk about their experiences, and just let people know about the wonderful HBCUs we have. And she definitely let us know we need to have more students that are in the mix right now, and be good to hear from what they experience, because we know if you went to college, that's where a lot of your ideologies were shaped, because a lot of things that's one of the times that one of the first times you became aware of the world around you and what was going on, because you were getting pretty close to being out there in that world. So you started to look at things a little differently than you did maybe in high school. High school might have been some things that come up that raise your consciousness, but not so much as being in college and knowing that you're right on knocking on the door of the rest of your life. So we're going to have some more college students up here and from different HBCUs and talking about, and we might expand too into some of the PWIs, just African American students that are going there to get their take on that, because there's nothing wrong with going there either. We just like to focus. You don't hear a lot of PWIs uh, before the pandemic that were being threatened to be closed. The pandemic brought a, brought about a lot of money to help a lot of universities keep the doors open, especially during those times when some of them had to alter their college schedules, and some of them closed actually during for a certain amount of period, and they cannot survive without students on campus. So um, we're gonna, focus on the HBCUs, no doubt. But it'd be interesting to know what some of our African American students, what are they thinking? What are their thoughts? The ones that are going to the PWIs, and I know a lot of them going to the PWIs doesn't make them any less conscious of their heritage, their blackness, and what's going on culturally. So it'd be interesting, like I said, to talk to them. So continue to watch Portsmouth Coffee Talk as we not only talk about the HBCUs, but we talk about a variety of subjects, and in the with the intent of sharing information that might help somebody, or be of interest to somebody that makes you want to say, I never thought of that, or, oh, that's where I can go and get that taken care of. Oh, I never knew that. So we have a variety. So stay tuned to us. And we try to promote who's coming on and why and what subjects will be covered. So you can be aware if it's something that you are interested in and you really want to get a chance to see um, someone talk expert, someone that's an expert in that subject, or just talking to we've also talked to the everyday citizen, and get his take on things. You'd be amazed at the knowledge and what comes out of people that we don't normally think, or go to get their opinions, and their opinions matter because they vote and their vote matters. So we're going to bring that to you as well as the professionals coming on talking about very important issues. So stick with us. And if you miss our live shows, and of course we expanded now to from our Monday mornings at 6:30, where we also are on for the first half an hour on WGPL 1350 AM. And from what I understand from the station, is soon it's going to be GPL 1350 FM station. They have already launched the FM station or counterpart of WPCE 1400. So you can go to 1400 PCE and hear it also on 95.3 on FM. And coming, I don't know how long it will take them to get to the point, because it's a really tedious process to get your station on FM. But soon they already have the the channel numbers, which is it will be 88.9, I believe, for WGPL 1350 AM's counterpart on FM 88.9, I believe. So that's going to further expand the reach of the station. Every FM station doesn't reach every AM station doesn't reach as far as FM stations, which give you a much broader and wider range of possible listeners. And that's important too for the advertisers. So hopefully, it's called now the Christian Broadcasting Company is called the CBC, Black Media, and it's the only Black media in town, in the Hampton Roads area, Black owned and operated. So please support them. And knowing that they're going to FM, you're going to want to go there and advertise with them, or sponsor some of their shows. You can even sponsor us, Portsmouth Coffee Talk, and we're looking for that too, so we can expand our time on the radio. Hopefully, we can get our 7 o'clock show on Thursdays at 7 p.m. We can get that on the radio, but that's going to cost. So we're going to have a sponsor in order for us to get that time slot on the radio. Right now, we're just doing that part of Portsmouth Coffee Talk on Facebook Live, but we do still upload it to our YouTube channel. So, and the radio portion of our early morning show is a part of the public service. So the half an hour. But in order for us to have that show on the whole hour, we would need a sponsor for that too. But we would have to move that, because there's already a show there. The Bishop. The Bishop has a show there. So we would have to move. But it would make more sense for us to have more radio time, or have radio time, period, on our 7 p.m. show of Portsmouth Coffee Talk, the evening edition. So we need your help and sponsorships, and I guess we're going to have to come to you, improve. But it's going to make it a lot easier now that the station is going in the direction of the AM, and not just, PM and not just AM. So look forward to that. Look forward to go to 95.3, 14, WPCE 95.3 on FM. So that's what's going on with Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Of course, we're going to always need, excuse me, we're going to always need your support. And we're always looking for your suggestions as far as who you think we should have the guests, and what subjects we should cover. Along, of course, I'm one of the hosts, and the other hosts are Leah Drake Stiff and Thomas the Colonel Chapman. And Thomas, the Colonel Chapman, is our political guy. He's the one that can bring politics in just about any subject we bring up, and rightfully so. Politics is everywhere, So he smoothly and intelligently brings in politics wherever we go with our subjects. And we chuckle at it sometimes the way he brings that in, but it really is a great addition to what we do here on Portsmouth Talk. Coffee Talk to keep us focused on whatever we're talking about. It keeps us focused on the big picture, the national scene, and how things that happen on the national scene trickles down locally to us. So we have to pay attention to that as we talk about local issues or issues such as mental health and things like that, because there are policies that control even those subjects as personal as they may get. The policies from the national scene can control how much mental health help you certain people will get. As far as how your insurance will cover certain things. So he has to keep us conscious of that fact, regardless. And Leah comes in with the factuals. She does her homework on all our guests and the subjects that we are having, and she brings in that human element of whatever we're talking about with the guests, and keeps us in tune with the person along with the importance of the subject, because it's important. I think it's important to uh, understand the person that's delivering the message. You can be more comfortable in what they're delivering if you understand where that person's come from. What is their motivation to be in the field that they are in? Because some of the people come up here in fields that they probably don't pay as much as they could get if they went in another direction because of their education. But their compassion for whatever they're doing supersedes what they're going to. We all want to get paid. We have to get paid. You have to live because it costs to live, and it even costs to die. But it costs to live, so we all want to be paid. But sometimes you have to sort of give up some of those big bucks for to order to follow your compassion, your dream, and what you're looking for, and those things might come later rather than jumping right on the dream. And my thing is all of that I just mentioned between customers. I like to know what the person is about, our guest is about, and what motivated them to be in the field they are. And I also like the politics part of it. I'm more into the local politics, and the Colonel starts. He's with the local politics too, but his focus is on the national scene because, like I said earlier, that really affects everybody, no matter where you are: Portsmouth, Virginia, California, Texas, Houston, Texas, Dallas, or Florida, wherever you are, the national scene is going to affect you. But there are certain things like with this Roe versus Wade thing coming up with the Supreme Court. It's going to come down to the states. Whatever the Supreme Court is going to probably take it out of the hands, the national, the out of the hands, you know, of the government, national government, and put it in the hands of the states. And what that means. Most of the states that are red or have a certain way of thinking, evangelicals or whatever, are going to you know do away with that. Make it much harder for, or even if make have people to cross state lines for abortions. And you just have to look at the whole picture. Everybody has an opinion about that, and we'll just look forward to the arguments back and forth up until that point. And even when it gets to the state level, uh, voting matters then. Elections matter. So then even when it gets in the state's hands, it's in the hands of the state politicians, and that matters who you put there. And then that matters who they put in their state Supreme Court, who might have to rule on some issues that will, after that, will be out of the Supreme Court. Well, they probably still can always appeal to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court will be wiping their hands of that and say, okay, that's the states. Let the states deal with it. and it's going to depend who the governor is and who the state legislators are. So I didn't mean to get into that, but just wanted to talk about, come on every once in a while and talk about what Portsmouth Coffee Talk is all about. It's been about uh, almost a year and a half now that we've been doing it as Portsmouth Coffee Talk. I did it long before as just the Seven Cities, Portsmouth, Seven Cities of Hampton Roads, Portsmouth edition. And we transitioned into Portsmouth Coffee Talk, where we added the other two hosts, which has been a godsend to me, having the other hosts, to sort of create some diversity as far as having a female, a male, and not racial diversity, but we still try to look at everything. Who knows down the road who we might have as another host to sort of uh, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that because we still need people to concentrate. There's nothing wrong with having an all black uh, cast and concentrate on the issues of in the African American communities. There's no shame in that. We don't have to do certain things because uh, it might please or or upset uh, other people. We just have to do what we feel or what we think might be best as far as sharing information, and it might help first those in our African American communities, and if it helps others uh, on a wider spectrum, so be it. That's fine too. But we have to look out for our own and also be aware that we're not the only ones here existing on this earth. But thanks again. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we appreciate you for tuning in and watching our videos in the past, and hope you continue to watch us uh, going forward. We constantly want to try to improve. Everybody around us is always coming up with different things, and I think it's good for us to sort of have a low ball competition between other, and I'm talking about other social media shows that that locally here you might see, and nationally you see people doing certain things, and we kind of copy off each other once we learn, oh wow, how did they do that? And so I think that might work for us, and that's all good. That's all good. That kind of low ball competition is good. It makes each show and try to improve their content because they know it's other media outlets out here that people can watch, and so you want to try to make your show as interesting as possible or as informative as possible, which is our main drive here, the information gathering and sharing, and having that entertainment aspect of it as well. Making sure people stay tuned, and even if they have to cut away for a while, they come back and complete it. So please remember when you watch us on our YouTube channel that you please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It's so important when you do that. And if you've done that already, inform some of your friends about the different shows. I had someone, and I'm definitely leaving after this. I had someone, I was watching a post, and that one of our former guests had put up about her journey that's still continuing and how it's almost near end. It's a few more things she has to unpack. And I had the opportunity to put up there for the people that were commenting on her comments and wishing her well and everything. I had the opportunity to put up there that she was a guest, and go to our YouTube page and look up that certain guest, and you can watch the interview or the discussion we had with her, and further get and see her talking and sharing emotionally at sometimes, sharing her journey and what she's going through as far as, and this is about adoption and her chasing or trying to follow her roots all the way in Korea. Uh, and she was born in Portsmouth, Virginia, and now lives in California, and but has roots in Korea, and that's where she traveled to try to find her maternal side. So that's an ongoing. But she did have opportunity to find people on her father's side, who was a military guy stationed in Korea back in the 50s or 60s. I'm sorry, 60s. So, well, well, anyway, 50s, late 50s, early 60s. So, those things like that come up. So we have like 96 videos up there where we covered a variety of subjects. And I think right now, and we're going forward with many more, it's always something for us to follow. I think now, just about anything that anybody might come up or post about, I can refer you to a video that we did that where we were covering or having a discussion about that subject. And if not going forward, we hope to cover even more subjects uh, that might be of interest to people out there. So thanks again, and this is James Slim Overton from Portsmouth Coffee Talk, and also watch the Slim Nation. We have the Slim Nation podcast on Spotify. You go to Spotify if you have Spotify, and put in the Slim Nation. It has to be the Slim Nation because I think it's another Slim Nation out there, and that might pop up. But to get me, James Slim Overton, you have to put the Slim Nation, the Slim Nation, the Slim Nation, and Spotify. You can. I have quite a few podcasts. Uh, Episodes or segments on there that you might enjoy as well. Some personal, some in conjunction. Lately, I've done some in conjunction with Portsmouth Coffee Talk, where I put Portsmouth Coffee Talks discussion on the Slim Nation page. So the people who like the podcast, and sometimes you don't get a chance to watch, you just have in a position where you can only listen and so that's why I do the podcast as well and share some of the um, Puss and Coffee Talk um, videos on the podcast. But we have some original Slim Nation, the Slim Nation episodes coming up where, which I call my one-on-ones, which will be just me, Slim, and talking to um, guests. And I already did it once, and it was with my first college roommate. I hope a lot of you saw that. If you didn't, you can go on my YouTube channel, The Slim Nation, and you can watch that as well. So we're looking forward to doing a lot more one-on-ones on the Slim Nation uh, with professionals, everyday people, people from my past, people that I might have been in elementary school with. I have I run into my second grade elementary school teacher every once in a while. I'm looking, I've already talked to her to have a one-on-one with her, and I think that would be real interesting. Even though she just had me in that 1 year in the second grade, we still know each other from then, and it'll be interesting for her to share some of her years of experience and teaching on the elementary school level, which a lot of us know that's where we really have to plant the seeds of the positive seeds, the seeds of loving your fellow man and woman, and just the goodness in people and things that will make sense to them later on as they get older, and to address the young minds now. I think that's some of the missing elements now. Why some some young folks grow up acting out as they do. It's not just at school; it's things that's going on at home. But sometimes those teachers at school have to be aware enough to recognize something is just not right for that kid in the class. And I don't know how far she can go after that these days, but before they used to could come to your home but that's probably not the way to do it now. But it has to be something. All we can do is what we can do when we have the opportunity to be in front of these children, and hopefully that'll be enough to steer them in a direction that once they get old enough to make up their own mind, it'll be something based in morality and doing what's best for themselves and the people around them. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care, and we appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Join us this Monday morning on a portion of Coffee Talk, when we will have members of the IC Norcom alumni talking about on the upcoming fundraiser, which is called the Walk Around, which they started last year. It's well, calling all classes, and they have a lot of competition. Whatever class comes there, like 73 or 72, that has the most members at that walk around will be recognized, and I believe they will win a prize or something like that. But the main function is to just have a walk around. I guess it's sort of a health note too. We walk around the track about 4 times, and then we'll be vendors out there and get a chance to interact, probably seeing classmates you haven't seen in a time. And it's not just restricted to IC Norcom alums. This is open for all. Last year we had people from Mana, alums from Mana, supporting us because we supported them when they were reclaiming their name. And we invite other schools to come out there and join in the walk around. So that'll be next Saturday. That'll be next Saturday on the 15th, I believe, is the date. But if I'm wrong there, we correct it. But tune in on Portsmouth Coffee Talk Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. on WGPL 1350 a.m. and Facebook Live, and that'll be on Leah Stitch Facebook page. You can go to her Facebook page at 6:30 and watch that show, and they will give out all the information about the walk around and other fundraisers they're having. And I'm sure Leah will be soliciting IC Norcom alums to just pay their dues. I think it's $25 a year, and the more alums that pay that $25 a year, the less fundraisers they will have to have. And they can concentrate, the alumni can concentrate on other issues and maybe be more in line, concentrate on social functions and supporting the students, present students at IC Norcom, and the teachers and the principal and the school system as a whole. So join us Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. is broadcast time on WGPL 1350 a.m. and Facebook Live on Leah Stiff's page. And if you're sleeping during that time and don't wake up, watch later on our YouTube channel for some Coffee Talk morning and evening edition. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me during this long talk. I always come on intending to talk short, but end up being long-winded. And I know I lose a lot of people when I do that, but hopefully people will watch the rebroadcast of this this live we're live on Facebook and YouTube at this time. So thanks a lot. Take care. And this is Slim Overton from Portsmouth Coffee Talk signing out. Take care. God bless you.